scrimmage. For Davenport Assumption, Eddie Gibson shakes and bakes, and he is long gone down that far sideline for an Assumption night touchdown, one of many they would get in the ball game. Watch Gibson on this next sequence as the Knights run the reverse. He will get to the outside. Nice stutter step move right there. And once again, big yardage down that far sideline. Then Bo Robertson, Bo knows football, and Bo knows touchdown right here as he goes in standing up for an Assumption score. You'll watch Jeremy Mosier for the West High Falcons off the play action. He just heaves that football, and an outstanding grab and a flag on the play as well. Brett Treiber will go in for the TD, but Assumption wins it 42-14. Meeting in Rosemont, Illinois today. Major League.
Frame of mind for the highlight zone. Paula Sands, you make the call.
All right, thank you, Dan. In the first quarter, the give is to Ed Gibson. Goes outside, he keeps going. And it's a 60-yard touchdown run, 7-0 Assumption.
He did keep going, didn't he, Paula?
Second quarter, 14-0 Knights, and Bo knows football. Robertson breaks a 35-yard run all the way to the 15. Look at him go. Finally brought down a couple plays later. He's in the end zone. It is 21-0 Knights.
But West would not be shut out. In position for the score, Brett Treiber over the top, and it's 21-7.
Great job, guys. Everybody's steaming happy about it. You've been practicing, I can tell. Later in the third quarter, Assumption's Greg Johnson will hit Matt Wolfe, who does a little work from 9 yards out. Another touchdown for Assumption. Later on, it's Johnson. This guy has really got the touch, hooking up 23 yards with Ryan McGuire on the touchdown pass. That extends it to 35-7. It's just over as Assumption beat Davenport West in the season opener 42-14. Last year.
But from this point on, the sports spotlight will have a definite gridiron tint to it, because tonight, game faces were on in the trenches as Assumption and Davenport West kicked off the MAC campaign. And if you want to get your play action eyes focused, try finding the ball. No, the QB doesn't have it, but Ed Gibson does, and Davenport West defenders never even got his license number. Gibson goes 60 yards for the first touchdown of the high school season. In the second quarter, Assumption just played power football, opening up a hole for Bo Robertson, who went in with no contact at all. Robertson chalked up 113 yards in the first half alone, including this 1-yard stroll over the right side. The Knights rolled up a 21-7 halftime lead, 42-14 the final, as Assumption opens up defense of their MAC crown in convincing style. It all starts in Illinois tomorrow.
Beautiful. Don't give up your day job, kid. Assumption jumps in front of the Muskies in the first quarter. Gary Mayfield, the Superfly, pounds it in from the 1. It's 7-0 Assumption. Later on in the quarter, Mayfield, the fly again. He busts one. It's a 20-yard pickup all the way to the Muscatine, too. And again, Ed Gibson, he takes it home from here. And holy cow, it is 14-0.
Thanks, Tara. The Knights weren't through. Neither was Gibson. He took it in from the 7 again for a 21-0 lead, as the Knights were looking pretty and looking good tonight with a 44-10 win. It should be 44-10 Assumption over Muscatine. Davenport West down.
From Bettendorf, Eddie Gibson from Assumption. This should be a dandy ride. It'll probably be a standing room only crowd at Bettendorf on Friday night. The top-rated and unbeaten Bulldogs host the number 5-rated and undefeated Assumption Knights in what could be a classic.
I think their defense scares me. I think they have a real strong defense, and their offensive line scares me because they've always been strong in that position the last couple of years. So, you know, a team isn't going to win with one player. I mean, everybody knows that. Last year, Bettendorf didn't win just with Tavian Banks. And I think it's going to be the same thing this year. You know, so goes the offensive line, so goes Banks.
They're very, very sound in what they do. They've got great personnel on the defensive side of the ball. And in fact, that's probably what they fill out first, is that they look at their athletes and they set up the personnel on the defensive side first, and then they fill in the offensive side.
This might be a smash-mouth football high school style, huh?
Yeah, it probably will be. The lines, I think, match up pretty equally in this game. We're both quick. We're both strong.
Well, Galesburg won the Western Big Six boys golf meet today.
It's just another game line on us, but if you don't consider Friday night's meeting between Bettendorf and Assumption huge, then you think Ross Perot can make up his mind. because any way you slice it, the winner will have the inside track on the MAC title. And if you're Assumption and you want to take a win to the bank, then you best try and stop Mr. Banks.
I don't know if Tavian Banks could be stopped, but I hope through our playing consistent defense and tackling well that we can contain him. And the rest of the offense, hopefully, by playing consistent and everybody doing their job, that we'd be able to hopefully keep the game in range of our offense.
We got to play all 4 quarters to the best, you know. We can't give up for a second, because that's when trouble starts.
What's the key to Assumption success?
The key to Assumption success is executing the way we know how and playing football the way we know how to do it.
Whoa. Boy, did you get some insights from that there, huh? Huh?
He coaches, he interviews. He's Coach K of Assumption.
Cornelis joins us with a preview on a good game.
One of the best matchups in the state right here in River City coming up Friday. Quite a showdown set for Friday night at Bettendorf's Tuval Stadium. It's the unbeaten and #1 ranked Bettendorf Bulldogs taking on unbeaten and 5th-rated Assumption. Now, both teams feature some great running backs. Assumption's Eddie Gibson here is averaging an incredible 23.8 yards per carry. And, of course, Bettendorf's Tavian Banks has already rushed for 829 yards. First, how do you stop them?
Defense against Assumption, because they have some pretty sneaky plays, and they try to squeak through on you. And it's going to be a battle, I think, of the defense, our defense against their offense, because I feel our offense can score.
He's a real fast, running back, and doing a real good job for Assumption, and doing a good job on defense. He's a real fine football player.
Well, the big question, how do you stop Tavian Banks? Considered one of the top banks in the country.
He's obviously a good player, and, we're going to have to contain him, keep him inside. But I think we can do it. I think our defense is ready, and I think we're prepared to handle him.
Bettendorf is more than Tavian Banks. And we're more than Ed Gibson. And so it's the type of thing where you're going to see 2 pretty balanced football teams attacking each other, hopefully not attacking their strengths, and trying to avoid their strengths. And so that's what the coaching's all about.
Should be at Andy. Kickoff Friday night, set for 7:30. Although the National Signing Day is still 6 weeks away, both Iowa and Illinois scored some basketball recruiting statewide as well. The Bulldogs rated #1, and the Knights come in 5th in the state. And both teams certainly have a couple of best running backs in the state, in Tavian Banks of Bettendorf and Eddie Gibson of Assumption. Gibson averaging almost 24 yards a carry, and Banks is 829 yards through the first 4 games. Both are quick to hand off assists, though, to their teammates.
The strength, I feel, is our line and our running backs getting through the holes, and the ability to do things after we get past the line of scrimmage.
Our offensive line, they open up holes, and I just run through there.
Well, tell me what the key is going to be on Friday night for you guys to come out victorious. What has to happen for you?
Our defense has got to play good again, and that's going to be basically it. Our defense is real good this year, and they have key on Gibson. They got to be able to stop Assumption's offense.
It's a battle of unbeatens. The winner emerges sole leader of the MAC. This one should be something special.
We're the top dogs of the state, right?
When a game starts, where's Tavian Banks' head? Is it strictly on the playbook? Is it you ever look around and say, man, I just love this, or what? I mean, how do you feel about football deep inside?
I love football a lot, and I don't look at the fans or anything like that. I don't look like at the crowd right when we go out there. I'm just concentrated on the game, totally.
And it's a great game for the Quad City and anybody that's a high school football fan. And our kids will be excited. They'll be excited, and that's why you play high school sports.
If you flew over empty County Stadium in Milwaukee this evening.
It's Greg Johnson to Ed Gibson, 49 yards, no point after, it's 6-0 Knights. Second play from scrimmage, Gibson gone, 55 yards, a 2-point conversion, 14-0. Second quarter now, Johnson on the option. He will eventually give it up to Gibson, 22 yards, 21-0. Later on, it is Gary Mayfield's turn, 20 yards, and it's 28-0 Knights. Later on in the quarter, Matt Wolfe, 8 yards, 35-0. Later on in the quarter, Matt Woodley to Don Trees with a great move, 35 yards, 42-0 at the half. The Knights win it 55-0. Assumption at Bettendorf next Friday. All right, now to baseball. The A's on the
excitement on the punt return. Scott Stewart jukes and jives his way into Lancer territory. And on the very next play, quarterback Greg Johnson goes up top to Ed Gibson, who found himself all alone behind the Lancer defense. From 47 yards out, Gibson goes in for the easy 6. The Assumption defense was swarming as well. They go on to crush the Lancers, and next week a big matchup in the MAC. Assumption will take on Bettendorf. Moving to baseball, whereas
Assumption's win against Clinton 35-7. All right, to Brady Stadium. Somehow golf and football